is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by this guy over here with the lightsaber and everything, Geek the 101, for some Dragon Ball Super talk. And today I want to talk about something that was discussed, or I guess briefly teased, if we can call it, this past weekend. We actually got two teases. The first one was when Kabe and Vegeta were talking to themselves. By the way, no spoilers in this video. Geekdom, when it comes down to it, we'll avoid, talking about stuff that's been revealed. So this is just kind of going off of what the Frieza line is. So to those watching, right, this video is safe for watching. SFW.
If you've seen the episode. Hey. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it now.
SFW works. Safe for watching. Whatever. The teasers I was talking about is there was one of Kabe and Vegeta talking, and Vegeta mentions how he wants his promise fulfilled of having Kabe taking the planet Sadala. And
it's gotta happen now.
It has to happen now because they teased it like a second time now. Kabe mentions we can't do this because one of us is going to lose our universes, to which Vegeta responded, "I'm going to win this, and I'm going to restore you." Which
was funny as hell.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell.
Now, we also got another line. We got our boy Frieza'S, who also said that he wants to control the gods. Clearly, that's going to be his wish. We're all expecting his wish to be basically revival. And I guess he could technically still revive himself with the Earth Dragon Balls, maybe, potentially. I don't know how that's going to work at this point. Cause
it would have to be the Namekian ones, but maybe he makes a super big wish. Maybe he doesn't have to come back to life if he becomes a god.
Yeah, but the point is he pointed out his intention. Controlling the gods. Now the question is what does that actually mean? Does that mean locking them all away, sealing them away? Because right now as it stands, there are two threats in front of him. The first one being Beerus, and the second one being Goku. But after they fought, when Frieza came back, it was clear that he had somewhat of an upper hand over Goku. Well, I would say they're probably both on equal grounds. Granted, some people were arguing that when Goku and Frieza knocked each other out, Goku was knocked out of his form, Frieza was still gold, implying that he's somewhat stronger, just slightly. But that's beside the point. That's just arguing semantics.
But Goku had also been caught up in that Hakai energy too, and he might have been weaker because of that.
That too. And of course now you have Ultra Instinct, and you could probably not. It's undeniable that if Goku busts out Ultra Instinct, you could knock out Frieza probably easily. Let's be real now.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean that's not the debate here. The point is
even Frieza himself said, "I need you to beat Jiren."
Yeah. The point is Frieza's intentions are clear. That there's two threats in front of him. Well, three technically now with Jiren. I think he's expecting Jiren and Goku to destroy each other, and then he'll finish the job after that. And then the only thing standing between him and basically dominance is going to be the gods. But if he wins the tournament and he gets a rule-free wish, big shout out to Fairly Odd Parents, if he gets a rule-free muffin, then he actually will be able to be above them. Now the question is what does that mean? Is he going to like seal them away? Is he going to wish himself to be a god above them? Is he going to wish himself to be above Zenon? Would that work? And what does that mean for the future of this arc? So the reason why I want to make this video is because small Naruto spoiler, if you haven't finished Naruto at this point, at the end of Naruto, and I know Geek, you never watched, but I think you're not.
I never finished it. I only saw the first episode. You're about to ruin it for me.
Yeah, well, we talked about it briefly. The way Naruto ending was surprising. You had the whole Madara fight, which then turned into Kaguya popping up, and just when you thought the day was saved and everyone was happy, Sasuke's all like, you know what, I want to fight. And then of course we get the finale of Naruto and Sasuke fighting. The way I see this going, and this is my prediction right now, and if you want to have your own predictions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. The way I see this going is after the Turn of Power is done, we're going to get potentially a fight between Frieza and Goku. Maybe if Frieza ends up being the guy, because right now you've been watching Conservative Stand this entire time. He went gold one time briefly against Kabe, although you can argue that he probably didn't even need that.
And he went gold against Gohan too, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right, against Gohan as well. So he's somewhat used a little bit of stamina. For the most part, he's just sitting there standing on the ground, Xenoverse style, and keeping his energy and everything up high for when he actually needs it. It's clear that he's waiting for the very last moment, so the second everybody is all drained and out, he's going to knock everybody out and get the wish. Which then is going to lead to the finale. And I know people are like tired of Frieza at this point, but let's be real. Frieza is one of the most iconic villains of all time in anime. You can be a fan of him or not, but you gotta agree he is one of the most iconic villains. He may not be the greatest to you, he's one of my favorites forever, but he's iconic. And I know people...
I mean, I look just like him.
You do. Yeah. I do kind of see the resemblance, but I think you look slightly different than him. The point is... Yeah, the point is...
I'm alive, that's the difference.
And you got a nice little fancy lightsaber. The point is
that's not a lightsaber, bro.
People. Oh, well, this
pause.
Is, yeah.
Pause.
People are kind of tired of Frieza, but at the same time, the way this is set up, I'm perfectly okay with it. So, what do you guys think in the comment section below about the series taking that towards the ending, where basically Frieza Pop ends up winning the tournament somehow in the end. He wishes for supreme power, gets the gods out of the pictures, and then we get one final fight between him and Goku. Granted, then the weird part is how will Goku get energy, because Goku will probably be drained after his finale with Jiren at some point in the future. What do you think about all the shenanigans?
I mean, it's really interesting because with that line that he said about controlling the gods, he didn't really say he wanted to get rid of them. He said controlling them, which is really interesting because, you know, we have been wondering, and I was actually planning on doing a discussion video on my channel about whether or not Frieza would be redeemed. And it appears like that line may have ruined that because it seems like he still has sinister motives. I mean, again, he's not
100%
doing... Yeah, he's not doing bad things right now, but you can tell that he's pretty much using Goku and using Gohan and helping out his team just so he can get that wish.
Right.
So I think you're right. Now, that being said, though, the idea of him getting the wish, it's going to depend on what he's actually going to wish for.
Right.
He might wish to become the Omni King. He might wish to become the king of everything. Like, I want to become Zeno. Like, he might wish for that.
Which would be insane.
Which would be insane, and I don't know how they're going to stop him. He might wish for the gods to lose their power. I mean, that could also happen, in which case it would definitely take maybe even a combination of Goku versus Jiren. You know, one of the biggest video on my channel is Goku and Jiren versus the Grand Priest video, where I talked about the possibility of him being evil. But I think another possibility, again, we don't know, but if Frieza does get his wish, it could be Goku and Jiren versus Frieza. I mean, if he's that strong to where he gets a power boost because of the Super Dragon Balls, then it could be a problem. Now, like you said, Frieza being the villain again, we've been down this road before. He keeps coming back, even in GT, even in the Heroes. He always comes back.
Yep.
But, I mean, I just don't know if they're going to go in that direction because I think that they did bring him back. But I could see something specifically between him and Beerus that might actually end up turning into something. But it's going to be interesting because, yeah, if he makes that wish to get the power of Zeno, even with, based on what they've told us, even with Goku and Jiren together, they can't stop that kind of power.
No.
Especially, yeah, Zeno can just erase things. But actually, I was thinking what they might try to do is, he might try to make the wish, and it's not going to work because he doesn't understand the language of the gods. And it's kind of like what happened on Namek, where Dende had Porunga summoned, and Frieza rushed in there and said, I want to be immortal, and the dragon just ignored him because he didn't speak Namekian. So it could be a situation where...
I'm glad you brought that up, because if you... I mean, you've been watching, obviously. To those who are at home, if you've been watching, there's been a lot of homages to, like, you know, the past. Like, the most recent one was when he gave him Ki, when Frieza gave Goku Ki. I would not be surprised that actually happened, because I forgot you have to speak in the language of the gods.
And then what could happen is freaking Zeno might say Hakai, and then what happens to Frieza is he ends up being the same place as Frost, which is nothing. I could totally see a situation where Frost and Frieza both get erased forever from existence. I would be upset because, you know, I like Frieza, but I could see it happening.
You know what? I want to see the community's response to that, what you just said as well. So in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on that. And by the way, if you made it this far in the video and you're having fun and enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button below. 3,000 likes is the goal as always. Now here is going off of what you said. Here's something else I could see happening. Brienne is just, she is like, I don't know,
the most hated character in the fandom right now.
She's kind of like a cockroach that just keeps coming back and there's nothing to do about it. And I know some of you guys might like her, but for the most part, from the comments I've been seeing, at least here on the YouTube side, not many people like her. And on
Twitter and on Facebook. She's very hated, bro.
I don't hate her. I'm just tired of her. And there's just something about a character that just doesn't quite stick to me. With that said, she's still around. She obviously is going to be around, and the way I've seen Toei do their shows and how they write the characters, if a character's around this long, they're going to do something important. So there's another theory that I have, and I've mentioned this briefly before, she's going to be amongst the final people standing at the end. And when she is, she's going to win. And because of Power of Love, I feel like she's going to be the redeeming force that actually also restores all the universes. So if, let's say theoretically...
That's wacky, bro.
I know. Let's say theoretically, that happens, which you just mentioned, how Frieza can't get the wish, and he gets erased, and then it's like, oh, well, I guess Brienne's the last one standing, so she wins. What do you want? With the Power of Love, I restore everybody, and she does that. Granted, she would need to know the language of the gods as well, unless, you know...
That, well, but that's a good wish. See, the idea of Frieza... Here's the thing. Yeah, if she makes that wish, Zeno might be like, okay, cool. But if Frieza says, I want to be Zeno, Zeno's going to be like, what does he mean? What does he mean? And then Grand Priest will be like, I think he wants to take your job and your power. And then Zeno could be like, you know what? You can't do that.
Dude,
and then that wasn't part of the deal.
This will be such blue balls though, because like The way they're setting up Frieza is he's clearly there for something. I love the fact that the writers are making it difficult to tell what his true intentions are. One episode he's helping everybody, the next episode he's not. You know, and even him knocking out Kabe this weekend kind of surprised me, even though it was against his universe. It was universe 6 versus 7. I was still kind of surprised that they showed that savage side of Frieza, like, so far. Because so far, everything they showed of Frieza, he's just been kind of, like, to himself, helpful, but you can't tell, like, which side he's actually on. So I like that. It's very much like a roller coaster of emotion. I
still want to see Frieza versus Kale. There's no spoiler. And again, this is not a spoiler because it doesn't exist. We don't have a spoiler for that. But I want to see it.
I have a theory. And this is a foreshadow. This is how I read it. Last episode, 112.
Hit didn't really go out and it was a clone.
I
thought that was your theory.
No. Well, clearly that's true, but we'll talk about that another time. By the way, I'm joking. I don't actually believe in that theory. What I was going to say is him saying that he finds Saiyans disgusting is a foreshadow for that fight. Frieza versus Kale and Khalifa has to happen at some point. And one of two things is going to happen. Number one, either he's going to actually knock out both Khalifa and Kale, and then they're going to go with the whole idea of having him stay out to the end, and then we're going to have that side of the tournament become a problem. Or Kale and Khalifa are going to team up and actually knock out Frieza, and then once again the Saiyans are going to win. And again, I'll be cool with that as well, depending on how it goes. I'm more of a fan of the Frieza side staying until the very end, but I would not be surprised if Kale and Khalifa end up, you know, being the Saiyans to defeat Frieza, because like Khalifa is supposed to be like the Goku version of Universe 6, and if she's the one who beats freaking Frieza again, it'd be very, very fitting. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, just we've never seen a Frieza versus Broly fight except for in the video games. So the idea of them doing Kale versus Frieza is close enough, and I would like it just to see, just to have what I would love just as a fan is he tries to pick on Kale. He does the moves where he shoots her, and then she explodes into Berserk, and then Frieza's like, "What the hell is this?" Because from what I remember, the last time she did it, I don't remember them ever showing a shot of Frieza when she did it. So maybe he didn't see it, and maybe it'll be like a reaction, you know, like that.
Right. But the only other thing that bugs me is Kale and Khalifa are they're gonna need way more power to beat Frieza. Because, like, Frieza right now in his golden form.
Oh, yeah.
In his true golden form.
But this is Dragon Ball, bro.
Also true.
But this is super, bro. People get new stuff all the time. Like, you know, Kale, Khalifa, I'm sorry, Kaba got 2. Freaking Khalifa might even get 3
I would not be surprised if that happens. And then we'll have an actual fight that will make more sense. But even then, it's like Super Saiyan 3 Khalifa beating Angel Frieza in its golden form just sounds so unrealistic, but whatever. When that happens, we'll talk about that. For now, we wanted to discuss the potential what's the word? Potential intentions. Wow, motive, intentions. I don't know why my brain literally just froze. Yeah. So with that said, in the comment section below, let us know what you guys think about Frieza's intentions and where this is going to go. Any predictions you have, and if you call it, I want you to come back to this video in a couple weeks and say, "Hey, Rhymestyle, remember this? I called it, tweeted at me, and I'll pin it and all that good stuff." Geekdom, is there anything else you want to toss in here before we end this?
Nah. I had a good time. Hope you all have a great day.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have a great day. As Geekdom said, leave a like in the comment. 3,000 likes is the goal, and we'll see you guys next week when more Dragon Ball Super action happens. Peace.